The procedure, which took place about 1 year after the former 19 Kids and Counting cast member and her husband Derek Dillard revealed the death of their daughter, Isla Marie Dillard, was announced, was accompanied by painful days that she recalled. Let me welcome you to my channel. Before we begin the video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and like this post. Regarding her Instagram post from March 19th, Jill said, "On this morning 1 year ago, we were prepping for the delivery of our daughter after finding out just days before that she had gone on to join Jesus in heaven. With the help of a friend and a few of my sisters, my mom drove us to the hospital. Our boys were being looked after by Derek's mom at the time. We are so grateful for all those who are not pictured who have wrapped their arms and prayers around us," according to her, "and continue to provide us with support as we walk this road that nobody ever wants to walk." The 33-year-old mother of 3, Israel, 9, Samuel, 7, and Frederick, 2, and wife of Derek shared images from the event with her statement. She showed off the pink outfit they received for Isla and a snapshot of herself and her husband of 11 years in hospital gowns among the images. Jill photocopied her daughter's stillbirth certificate and attached it to an additional post in memory of her daughter. "They were both born exactly 10 days apart," she said, "and Derek was 36 years old when they did it. Above all," she said, "such a unique connection." The former reality star first shared the news on Instagram in April of 2024, writing, "It is with heavy hearts that we announce the stillbirth of our beautiful baby girl. We were eagerly anticipating the arrival of our baby from the moment we learned we were expecting," the caption adds. The 3 older brothers were ecstatic to have Isla as a part of their family, and she was showered with love from the start. "We ask that you keep our beautiful Isla Marie in your prayers as we grieve and try to put this tragedy behind us. I was loving my baby bump 1 year ago, but we hadn't shared to social media yet that we were expecting," she said on Instagram last month. "We hadn't even shared that we were expecting yet. In order to reach my second prenatal visit, I was still attempting to overcome the nausea that had plagued me all day long throughout my pregnancy. I was ecstatic to see this sweet little doll twirling and smiling at me on the ultrasound screen when I arrived." As the day of her loss drew near, she spoke out about how frequently she and Derek talk about their daughter. This information was relayed to Derek by her. "I thought now would be a good time to give you a glimpse of the happiness she brought to our family in her short life," she added. "Since I didn't have the chance to publicly celebrate the wonderful times on here before we were confronted with tragedy," stated the woman. At the same time, Jill pondered what she thinks Isla might be like in the present day. "It is highly likely that she would be beginning her initial swim lessons around this time," she said, "and she would soon be running and chasing her older brothers all over the place, which would lead to her getting into trouble." Jill Duggar Dillard has spoken up about the way in which her path has been impacted by love, healing, and sorrow 1 year after she went through an unspeakable tragedy. Jill reflected on the agony of losing her daughter, the lessons she has learned, and the ways she continues to remember the child she never had the chance to hold in her arms in a message that was both poignant and profound. She shared this message with her followers. On the occasion of the anniversary of her stillbirth, Jill turned to social media to make public a very personal statement in which she revealed the feelings that had fluctuated during the course of the last year. "A year ago, our planet underwent a transformation that will never be reversed. The day that we said our goodbyes and our hellos to our lovely daughter was the same day," she stated. "There are waves of pain that arrive. Sometimes I get a strong feeling. On other occasions, the memory of the loss comes flooding back to me like a new wound." She sent a black and white photograph of a little footprint that had been inked on paper as a keepsake of the child that she had lost along with her letter. The picture was accompanied with a passage from the Bible that has provided her some solace. The text reads, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Psalm 34:18. In the beginning, Jill and her husband, Derek Dillard, chose to keep a significant portion of their sorrow to themselves. They chose to grieve in silence while turning to their immediate family and friends for support. At the same time, however, as the anniversary drew near, Jill felt obliged to tell her tale in public, with the intention of providing comfort to those who had been through a similar kind of grief. According to what Jill wrote, "I know I'm not alone in this pain. A great number of moms have traveled along this path. Please be certain that your child was important to you if you are experiencing grief now. Your love was significant. It is not only you who is alone. Her remarks touched the hearts of hundreds of people who followed her, and many of them filled the comments section with their own personal experiences of loss and words of encouragement. Over the course of the previous year, Jill and Derek have discovered several methods to preserve the memory of their infant child. The tree that they planted in their backyard is a symbol of life and hope, and they often go there to pray and think on the meaning of the tree. Every time I see it, I think of our baby and the love that will never fade, Jill said in response. It's a reminder that even in loss, love grows. In addition, the couple decided to give their child a name. However, Jill preferred to keep the choice a secret since she felt it was very important to her. Giving our baby a name made everything feel more real, she wrote in her journal. It reminded us that even though our child's life was brief, it was precious. While Jill has been going through this difficult path, she has found comfort in her religion, in her husband, and in her children. When she wrote, "Derek has been my rock," she said. "He's held me while I cried, prayed with me when I felt broken, and reminded me that even in the hardest moments, we are still a family." It is also important to note that her elder children have contributed to the healing process. Although it is possible that they may not completely comprehend the magnitude of the loss, Jill has been transparent with them about their sister who is now in paradise. It is common for us to discuss the baby. We refer to them by their name. She went on to say that they make sure to remind their sons that they have another younger brother who is looking out for them. It brings a sense of peace knowing that our baby will always be part of our family. Jill believes that by sharing her story, she may be able to dispel the silence that surrounds the death of a baby during pregnancy. For so long, women have felt like they had to grieve in silence, she said in her article. But our children are important. No, our sorrow is genuine. And although talking about it does not make it any less painful, it does make it more manageable. Since then, she has made connections with other women who have had losses comparable to her own, discovering a sense of community and comfort in one another's stories. "There's something incredibly healing about knowing someone else understands your pain," stated Jill in response. "I never wanted to be part of this group, but now that I am so grateful for the love and support we share." Jill is still steadfast in her determination to remember the memory of her daughter while also embracing the joy and love that are still present in her life as she proceeds into the second year after her loss. "Grief and hope can coexist," she said in her letter. "The pain of this loss will remain with me forever, but I will also continue to go on with my life. I am going to continue to have faith that God is with us in every moment. I am going to love my children with passion, and I am going to hug my spouse a little bit closer." If you are hurting today, please know that your love will never be forgotten, Jill said in a touching note that she sent at the conclusion of her letter to other parents who were experiencing grief. "The baby you have will be a part of you forever. Additionally, even at the most difficult times, you are never really alone." Her remarks, which were unfiltered and straightforward, struck a chord with hundreds of people, demonstrating that even in the midst of profound sorrow, there is power in sharing, in remembering, and in refusing to let go of love.